And welcome back to Game On Sports Network for another Highland Park basketball production. The Scots on the road at Frisco, Wakeland. Here are your starting lineups for the Scots and the Wolverines.
In addition, tonight we would like to recognize the teachers who have made a lasting impact on our students and athletes through their educational journey. Their commitment, mentorship, and care have helped shape these young men and women tonight, both in the classroom and beyond. We are truly grateful for their time, dedication, and relationships they build while investing in the success of so many students. If you are a Wakeland teacher here tonight, please stand. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wakeland High School for tonight's game between the Highland Park Scots and your Wakeland Wolverines. First up is going to the Scots at guard, 6 foot senior number 1, Cannon White. At guard, 6'1", senior number 2, Cade Kaplan. At 4, the 6'6", senior number 4, Will Saunders. At 4, the 6'6", senior number 5, Conrad Noble. And at guard, 5'10", freshman number 13, Chris Martinez. Scots are first line, David Peeler, Travis Snowden, Stu Reed, and Mark Lecklider. Now, let's meet the starters for your Wakeland Wolverines. At 4, the 6'4", junior number 0, Cameron McCain. At guard, the 6'3", senior number 3, Lucas Mangum. At guard, 5'9", junior number 4, Jordan Johnson. At guard, 6 foot senior number 11, Matt Lastry. And at 4, 6'5", senior number 24, Cedric Thornton. Wolverines are coached by Eric Benton. Here's truly Jake's story. Dominique Carroll. Let's have a great game.
And we are back here at Game On Sports Network. The Scots fresh off of a big senior night victory over R.L. Turner last night. Ready to take on Frisco Wakeland. I am Matthew Bryce. I have your play-by-play. John Hockler, he is on the call with the elite color commentary. John, how we doing tonight?
We're doing great, Matthew. Looking forward to a great game. We had fun last night. It was kind of a coasting kind of a win. It was a great win for a senior night, but now we've got a tough battle on the road against a team that's fighting for a playoff spot just like we are.
Wakeland 17-10 overall, 5-3, tied for 4th with Lone Star. Highland Park 17-9 overall, 7-1. At the top of district play, the Colony defeated Frisco Reedy, which means Highland Park is in sole possession of first place for now. Scots win the tip. Conrad Noble over to Cannon White and over to Chris Martinez Jr. There's Cade Kaplan. Scots in all blue. Gold numbers trimmed in white. Wakeland, icy whites. Orange numbers trimmed in navy. And Wakeland starting lineups. Jordan Johnson, Matthew Lastry, Lucas Mangum, Cameron McCain, and Cedric Thornton Jr. And there's Cannon White getting us off with the scoring. First off, 2 points.
It's a big shot for Cannon. Get in the paint. He's been, Cannon was known as a three-point shooter, and he's really done a really good job of using that midi floater range shot, and where he's getting a lot of his production this year.
And there's Cedric Thornton getting Wakeland on the board. Tied up at 2. Cedric Thornton broke the record for most rebounds, most career rebounds in Wakeland history. Congratulations, young man, as we are tied here at all 2. 2-all. And Big Wheel getting it over to Cade Kaplan. He's in the paint. And back out to Cannon Wyatt. You see Lucas Mangum staring down Wyatt. And Wyatt getting into the paint, getting it over to Martinez. The runner and one, Chris Martinez Jr.
We've talked about it before. Chris plays much bigger than his size. I mean, that's a great play. Getting into the paint, drawing some contact, knocking down a shot, and let's see if we can finish it off with a three-point play. And we do.
Three-point play confirmed and continue on with play. And Highland Park up 5-2. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go and ticking here in the first period.
Okay, watch the double. Well, we didn't get a chance to see it. They got it out of his hand quickly. I'm going to talk about our defensive strategy once they get into a little longer set. But Wakeland's played us once. They've adjusted right there. 0 and 11 are the guys that really make the team roll. Thornton and Lastry. So the defense is kind of all built around how we stop those two, and we'll get into it here as the broadcast goes on.
And Jordan Johnson tied it up for Wakeland, 5-all with a big 3. And there's Big Will with it. Cannon Wyatt, corner three-pointer, nothing doing. Rebounded by
Look at the hold.
Conrad Noble. Was working hard. They're going to get Cameron McCain.
You and I could see it. the camera angle could see it. The guys that are sitting there could see. The guy literally locked his arms behind him on the block out. There's a clear foul on the floor there.
Cameron McCain under that battling Conrad Noble for position. Look at Big Wheel pulling the trigger.
There you go.
Big Wheel, the corner three.
You leave him open, he will knock that down.
And Saunders, you don't see him shoot the three much, but he can do it, as John just stated. And Saunders always with the blue-collar effort. Scott's up 8-5. There's Johnson again. Conrad Noble, the high-flying rebound. Get it out to Cannon Wide. On the move, Big Wheel.
Back to him.
Cade Kaplan was over in the corner for the three. But Chris Martinez Jr. said, let me get into the paint and give me two more. 5 first-quarter points.
Okay, you saw that we forced Ford to take a shot on that last possession. That's kind of those are the guys. I'm not sure what we were doing there. Those are the guys, if you could keep 24 Thornton, 11 Lastry from leading the team in scoring, that's really where our strategy is going to be. We want to get the ball out of 24's hands. We want to make sure 11 doesn't catch it for an open three.
Number 11, that's Matthew Lastry. Lastry can burn you, one of the better three-point shooters in the area. And there is Thornton showing some good vision on the pass, but McCain cannot finish. Big Wheel to rebound. Get it over to Martinez. Martinez is going to bring it up the court. Bright orange, Kobe Bryant's low tops. Get it over to Cade Kaplan in the corner. Big Wheel straight down the paint. Cannot finish. Thornton contesting the shot, but Conrad Noble on top of it. And that's going to be possession Highland Park. Looks like we got another foul. They got Cedric Thornton for a push.
He just kind of laid on Conrad as he was trying to get possession there. A lot of times they let him battle it out and they give him a jump ball in that situation. If he had his hands nowhere near the ball, he's just laying on top of him. They're going to call that foul.
And they're going to get Big Wheel for the offensive foul and a moving screen. Right idea.
So before they get into their set here, you're going to see when any time Thornton catches the ball, Conrad's playing him on a man-to-man, we're going to run a double at him and try and get the ball out of his hand. You can see the last two possessions, Wakeland's done a good job. They're ready for this. He's looking to get rid of it quickly and hit the guy that's now open because his man left to go double.
Coach Eric Benton of Wakeland. Pretty good coach. One of the better coaches around. Definitely watch tape of the last Highland Park Wakeland matchup. Jordan Johnson cutting to the basket. Johnson with 5 points. 10-7 Highland Park leads. And Highland Park won 80-61 the last time these two teams met. This is matchup number 2. And Cannon Wide cannot get the mid-range to go. And you see McCain working his way down to the basket slowly. And it's 10-9.
It's a little easy on the defense there. We got to make sure we got to keep him out of the paint. We just let him back in and get in there, trying to make it a little bit harder on him.
And Wakeland, a team that loves to get to the basket as well. Big Wheel cutting to the basket. Cedric Thornton forcing the turnover. Here comes Lastry on the move, and he's going to get it down to Lucas Mangum for a slam. And Wakeland with an 11-10 lead. Timeout on the floor. Highland Park.
That's what we talked about. We were kind of in the sound check, not sure how much of it went over the air, but if you could try to keep the crowd out of it early, if you can jump on them early and kind of get the momentum. Now we were up. We had a 10-5 lead. They just went on a 6-0 run there. It was a good timeout by Coach Peeler. Just try and settle them down, just get back into our game, and again try to calm the crowd down.
3 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And Wakeland leading Highland Park 11-10. And we want to send a shout out to Grandjean Amundsen. She is turning 94 today, John. 94 years old. Grandma Amundsen, we want to say happy birthday and thank you for tuning in to Game On Sports Network. Watching your grandson, Spencer Amundsen, as he hits the court out of a timeout. He subs in to join Will Saunders, Cannon Wide, Chris Martinez Jr., and Charlton Bradford also subbing in for the Scots.
Good timing on the shout-out for Grand Jean as Spencer checks in.
Yes, indeed. Chris Martinez Jr., the runner, cannot get it to go. And rebound Jordan Johnson. Get it over Thornton. Thornton on the move.
Oh,
nice
pass.
dish into Cameron McCain. And McCain finishes.
McCain was their leading scorer in the game back in early January. We did a great job of limiting Thornton and Lastry, but McCain stepped up and I think knocked down 19 for them in that first game.
And Cedric Thornton, a 6'5" big man, also plays linebacker on the Wakeland football team.
Looks like a linebacker out there. His dad was a great football player.
Yes, sir. Dad, Cedric Thornton Sr. played defensive tackle for Philadelphia, Dallas, and Buffalo. And Thornton with a rebound. And the Wakeland Wolverines on the move. Jordan Johnson with it. Scott's manned up right now. Chris Martinez hounding him. Cameron McCain straight down the baseline. Back to Johnson for three. Gets it to go. And Jordan Johnson, he's got 8 points here in the first quarter. 16-10.
It's really good offense. We gave up the baseline. He had good penetration. That's what we call a paint touch. The guy gets in the lane and immediate kick back out for an open three.
And Cannon wide going to the basket. Cannot get that one to go. Rebounded McCain. And there's Lastry on the move in a hurry. Going to the basket. Cannot get it to go. Follows his own shot. Matthew Lastry with his first 2 points of the game. 18-10. 13-0 run for Frisco Wakeland as they lead.
Like to see a good set here. We've had last couple shots have been kind of, I wouldn't call forced shots, but not shots that we get in our normal offensive flow. See if we can get something off of a set play here.
David Tavares also in the game as a substitute for Wakeland. Great offense, big wheel, the vision. Martinez straight down the baseline. 7 points for Chris.
Not a set play, but just really good offense, a good backdoor cut.
And the Scots doing a good job of rotating. They continue to man up on defense, but we see Cannon wide going for the steal. And McCain with the top of the key, getting it over to Johnson. He's going to pull the trigger again. Jordan Johnson on fire. 11 first quarter points for the junior guard.
If those other guys are hitting these shots, it's just going to be tough because really all of our defense is focused on 2, maybe 3 guys. Wakeland can have some of their role players, bench players step up and make big buckets like that. It's going to be a tough battle.
Conrad Noble going to sub in for Will Saunders. And Clayton Carter subbing in for Frisco Wakeland for Cameron McCain. Possession Highland Park. Martinez throws it in to Cannon wide off of his foot. Turnover.
Unraveling a little bit for the Scots. This first quarter break is going to be a good break for them. Let's see if we can get a stop here, assuming Wakeland's going to hold for one shot. We can hold them here, go into the break with a 9-point deficit, and kind of regroup.
21-12, Wakeland leads. 10 seconds to go and ticking here in the first quarter. Jordan Johnson with it, almost pulled it again. Get it over to Tavares. Back to Johnson, over to Lastry, quick three. Matthew Lastry got that one to go. And that's how the first quarter is going to end. Frisco Wakeland leading Highland Park 24-12. And Jordan Johnson with 11 first quarter points for the Wolverines. Matthew Lastry with 5. 2 from Lucas Mangum, 4 from Cameron McCain. For your Highland Park Scots, Chris Martinez Jr., he's got 7. 3 from Will Saunders and 2 from Cannon Wyatt.
Lastry's a heck of a shooter. We, that's the one guy you want to try and run off the 3-point line. It's part of our defensive strategy is making sure he doesn't get a shot. Saw there we went into our 1-3-1 to finish that last set, which is susceptible to 3-point shots if you don't get out there and close out quick enough. And they recognized it, got the ball to 11, and knocked down a big shot there. So it'll be interesting to see if we go back to the man as we come out in the second quarter, or if we do kind of mix in that 1-3-1 here and see if we can try to get him off balance a little bit.
And Johnson and Lastry, Jordan Johnson, both not hesitating. As soon as the ball hits their hands, it is off their fingertips and going straight to the basket. And we get ready to start the second quarter now. And Wakeland going to start with possession. Cade Kaplan, Spencer Amundsen, Conrad Noble, Cannon Wyatt, Charlton Bradford. Those are your 5 Scots. Jordan Johnson, Clayton Carter, Matthew Lastry, Cedric Thornton, David Tavares, the 5 Wolverines on the court.
We came out in the 1-3-1 with the pressure in the corners, trying to get him a little off tempo.
And Johnson, 14 points, and he was off balance that time. Very Jason Terry-like, gets it to go out of the corner. Spencer Amundsen pulling the trigger, hits the 3.
Big shot, Spencer.
Big shot from Amundsen, 27-15, Wolverines lead. Highland Park getting back on defense in a hurry. And there's Lastry letting it go. Cannot get that one to go. Cedric Thornton going for it, out of bounds. Possession, Highland Park.
So, again, up-tempo, lots of pressure, trapping in the corners. You know, you're going to give up a shot. If they miss it, you just got to you got to box out and make sure they don't get the rebound. You saw Thornton was on the backside there for an offensive rebound. We did a good job of putting a body on him and not letting him get to it.
And the energy high from both teams, both Highland Park and Wakeland. Both teams want it. Highland Park knows they cannot slip up. Wakeland fighting for their playoff lives. At 5-3, Charlton Bradford the 3. Cannot get that one to go. Cedric Thornton the rebound. He's got 5 rebounds in the first half, and he's on the move straight to the basket. Kicks it out to Tavares, but Clayton Carter catches the air ball. Looking to go up. We got a jump ball. And they're saying possession Highland Park. Conrad Noble working hard as always.
He's our kind of utility man, everything. Talked about it in the previous broadcast. Conrad's always in the right place at the right time, and there to pick up a big rebound and possession.
And Spencer Amundsen was trying to get it to Cade Kaplan. Cannot get it to him. Looked like it was out on Wakeland, but the ref says out on Highland Park. 27-15, we remain there. 6:22 to go and ticking before halftime. And Highland Park trying to get back in this one. Conrad Noble working hard, gets the steal. Cannon wide with it. Will Saunders, Chris Martinez to the scorer's table. Cannonball, run, cannot finish. Rebounded by Tavares. Here comes the Wolverines.
We've gotten stops the last 3 possessions. We'd just like to see if we can pick it up on the offensive side a little bit.
Great defense, but the offensive rebound, Johnson finally misses a shot. And Clayton Carter throwing that one out on Spencer Amundsen. Possession, Wakeland. Martinez subbing in for Cannon Wyatt. Saunders subbing in for Amundsen. And Wyatt going to take a quick break, as is Saunders. Johnson throws it in. Conrad Noble almost coming up with another steal. Look at Will Saunders working hard, but they're going to get him for a foul.
He was walled up. He had his hands straight up. He just left his feet, and the ref's going to call that. You leave your feet and come back down. It's tough to not draw a little bit of contact. That's what he's telling him right now.
And with Cedric Thornton, kind of hard to hold your posture. A big man who can get up himself kind of puts that pressure on you. And Thornton can't get the free throw to go.
So we played them on January 6th. I talked about how we kind of keyed on trying to stop him. We held him to 9 points. He had 9 rebounds, but he had 5 turnovers in that game. He's a guy that's averaging like 22 and 10 a game. So we did a really good job keeping Thornton off the stat sheet. Go ahead.
Excuse me. He's got 2 points tonight, 2 missed free throws. 27-15. And 5:30 to go and ticking here before halftime. Cade Kaplan with it. Big wheel, corner 3. Nothing doing, rebounded Carter. And Saunders opened that time. Good shot, just couldn't get it to go.
2 good-looking threes between Will and Charlton. Last few possessions, it just in and out.
Martinez on the move. Cade Kaplan, corner 3. Cade Kaplan, yes indeed. Highland Park to within 9 after a great defensive stop from Conrad Noble and Will Saunders to get the momentum going on that one.
Yeah, like I said, let's get the offense going. The defense is kind of doing its job here in this second quarter.
And Cedric
as soon as I
Thornton
say that.
pulling the trigger on the three. The big man showing some range, and we got a timeout on the floor.
That's not, the key to Cedric's game. I mean, he's a bigger body, likes to score on the inside, but he's not afraid to knock down a three, and you saw it there. It's a good-looking shot.
Very good-looking shot. His first three-point attempt of the night, he gets it to go. He's got 5 points, 30-18. Frisco Wakeland lead as the clock stops here at 4:45 to go before halftime. And Coach Peeler, no clipboard out, but having a very, very spirited conversation.
I was going to say animated. I like spirited as well. Coach Peeler can get animated and spirited, and usually turns into the Scots coming out and playing animated and spirited because they react well to Coach Peeler, and when he's getting in their face and getting them motivated.
He's pretty good at getting the most out of his guys, as he has done many times over the years. 677 career wins overall. He's got 492 at Highland Park alone. 8 away from 500. And Martinez getting it back. Jordan Johnson hounding him on the defensive side. And Kaplan over to Saunders. Martinez with it. Conrad Noble. And there's Charlton Bradford. Going to go back to Big Wheel. Scott's working to get a good shot. And Kaplan straight down the paint. Martinez had a rebound. And Matthew Lastry beats him to it. And Tavares with it. Cedric Thornton crashing the basket. Good defense by Charlton Bradford.
Great defense.
Big Wheel to rebound. Cade Kaplan on the move. The finger roll. Cannot get it to go. They're going to say out on Saunders. And Drew Fisher going to sub in for Conrad Noble. Cannon Wyatt subbing in for Charlton Bradford. Cade Kaplan, Chris Martinez Jr., Will Saunders. They remain on the floor for the Scots.
First look at Drew tonight, our sophomore from Atlanta. Really great addition to the program this year. He's just continuing to get better each game that goes on.
Lucas Mangum checking back into the game for Wakeland as well. Thornton almost pulling that one. Gets it into McCain. Thornton, it will pull that one. Nothing doing. Almost tipped back in by Cade Kaplan. Drew Fisher tips it out to Martinez on the move. Martinez, nice hesitation over to Kaplan. And Cannon Wyatt getting it back and getting back to Saunders.
Okay, so we're in our Euro set that we run against a man-to-man offense, man-to-man defense. What Wakeland's doing is they're doing a good job of kind of sagging off and not allowing that dive cut you just saw that Will just shot.
And Big Will was trying to get it back to Fisher, and Lucas Mangum gets on the move. He's got 4. 32-18, Wakeland leading. Will Saunders over to Martinez. Three-pointer. Yes, indeed. Chris Martinez. He's got 10 points. Leading the Scots in scoring so far. 32-21.
I like to see us with that up-tempo, getting offense off of kind of a secondary transition there.
Cam McCain can't get it to go. Drew Fisher getting in there. Has possession. We're going to say jump ball. Possession, Wakeland. And here comes Jordan Johnson checking back in. He subs in for David Tavares.
This is where you yell, shooter, shooter. Four's back in. He's got the hot hand tonight.
Jordan Johnson, 14 first half points. 11 came in the first quarter. Getting it over to Thornton. Yep.
Sorry, Matthew. That's where the dad in me instead of the announcer in me comes out. I'm acting like I'm sitting over in the stands and asking for a call there.
Hey, that's all right. No worries. At least you admit it. And Chris Martinez, that one blocked by McCain. Jordan Johnson on the move, looking to lob it. He finishes. Jordan Johnson, 16 points. Leading Wakeland, 34-21, the Wolverines lead. Martinez over the Big Wheel. Big Wheel down the paint. Big Wheel Big Will got it to go, and he drew the foul.
That's great. I would have loved it. I actually was hoping he was going to pull up. That's one of those shots we talk about. Will, when you leave him open, he's going to knock it down. He felt like, I'm going to take this to the hole, and he's going to get 3, hopefully, here the old-fashioned way.
High IQ play from Will Saunders. 5 points. The Washington and Lee commit. Can't get the roll on the free throw. McCain pulls down the rebound. 34-23, that's where we sit. 1:36 to go in ticket. And Jordan Johnson with it. Chris Martinez eyeing him down. Coming up with the steal. Drew Fisher, Martinez, run it out, finger roll, George Gervin style. Martinez.
Really smart play by Drew there, getting the ball and getting it out, up and outlet early, and leads to an easy 2.
Very good job of executing by the underclassman. Martinez, the freshman. Fisher, the sophomore. Behind the back, Lastry. Nice move and finish. 36-25. And Cade Kaplan gets it from wide. He's going to go back to wide. And Lucas Mangum on him. Wide going to take him out the dribble. Looking to feed it to Drew Fisher, but Cedric Thornton right there with his hands. Lucas Mangum with the steal. Jordan Johnson pulling up. Jordan Johnson, God almighty. 19 first half points.
Somebody ate their Wheaties today.
Yes, he did. 39-25, Wakeland leading. Martinez the runner. Martinez got it to go. 14 points for Chris Martinez Jr. Got a nice battle from the guards. 20 seconds to go in ticket. Wakeland leading 39-27. Look like they're going to hold for the final shot. Jordan Johnson with it. Martinez staring him down.
To give.
And he fouls him.
So in the high school game, now the rule that was implemented a few years back, 5 fouls per quarter. There's no more 1-and-1s. So it's 5 fouls per quarter, and it's an automatic 2 starting with the 5th foul. So we looked up. We had 10 seconds left. There was only 1 foul in the quarter. We're using these fouls here to get them out of their rhythm and not get an easy shot except for that.
And Cameron McCain left him open on the backside. 3-pointer would have counted, but can't get it to go. That's how our first half ends. Frisco Wakeland 41, Highland Park 27. We go down our updated lead scorers for Wakeland. Jordan Johnson, 19 first half points from the junior guard. Behind him, Cameron McCain with 6. Matthew Lastry with 7. 5 from Cedric Thornton Jr., 4 from Lucas Mangum. For your Highland Park Scots, Chris Martinez Jr. leading the way with 14. Will Saunders has 5. 3 from Spencer Amundsen, 3 from Cade Kaplan, and 2 from Cannon Wyatt. And John.
Well, that was not the way we wanted to start the first half, but again, we talked about home field, home court. You get these home and homes, and it kind of can be 2 different games that you see when they came to our place on the 6th, and we just jumped on them early, and we had a 22-point lead at halftime and just kind of coasted to a second half lead. They jumped on us. I mean, it was kind of back and forth, and all of a sudden, kind of from that second part of the first quarter through the rest of that first half, been hovering around kind of a 10 to 12-point lead. And, 14 points is not too much to overcome, but it's going to be a tough battle in the second half. I do anticipate Coach Snowden and Coach Peeler looking at seeing what they were doing. To me, I was saying when we're running that half-court set, they're sagging off of our big man who's setting that free throw line extended or top of the key ball screen. We like to have that man kind of roll off of that screen and we look for a cut. They're sagging off. What that means is our guy with the ball getting the screen is going to have to come off of that screen and look to shoot, or the big man's going to have to look to just stay high and pop and get a shot there instead of diving and trying to get something in the paint because they're just clogging that up. And I'm assuming Peeler and Snowden are seeing that and making that adjustment at halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is John Hochter with the elite color commentary. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, and I know the people watching appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break here at halftime, where Wakeland leads Highland Park 41-27. We'll be back in just a moment.
brothers at home watching the game, and I just looked at the text and started that. He goes, no audio? And I was like, oh, it's here. No, and I was getting a couple texts from other buddies. Podcast is great, whatever. I'm like, he was watching the game. Okay, this is going on right now. Well, no, it'll be on. They played it.
And welcome back to Game On Sports Network, where the Highland Park Scots are taking on the Frisco Wakeland Wolverines. Wolverines leading 41-27. I am Matthew Bryce. I have John Hockler here with me with the Elite Color Commentary. And John, you're the Scots. What's the first thing you need to do to get back in this?
Well, I do like that the switching up on defenses we did in the second quarter. We dropped back into our 1-3-1. We did a little pressure 1-3-1 and kind of drop back into some man. I think we just got to keep switching that up on them, keep them on their toes on offense. On our offensive side, I talked about we're going to have to make some adjustments to the way they're defending. I think we just got to knock down some threes. We've had some open ones that look good coming off the hand. They didn't go in. They're leaving us open on the three. It's a little tougher to get some shots in and on the paint. And I'd like to see us try to, see if we can open it up. And we're a great three-point shooting team. Last night we shot, 45, 46% from three, knocked down 10 or 11 threes last night. We have the ability to knock them down. Let's see if we look to do that here in the second half.
Highland Park with possession. Chris Martinez, Cannon White, Will Saunders, Conrad Noble, Cade Kaplan. Those are your five Scots on the floor. Matthew Lastry, Cameron McCain, Cedric Thornton Jr., Lucas Mangum, and Jordan Johnson. Those are the five Wolverines on the floor. And speaking of the three-point shot, Jordan Johnson hot in the first half. But Conrad Noble said, I can get hot too. Watch me hit this three. Get the Scots to within 11, 41-30.
Conrad's a sneaky good shooter, sneaky good outside shooter. He doesn't take a lot of them, but when he does, he has the ability to knock them down. That's what you just got to do.
And look at him moving his feet on the defensive side. Eyeing down Cedric Thornton. And Lastry getting it over to McCain for a corner three. McCain hits that one. 9 points from Cameron McCain. And Wakeland back up by 14. And the Wolverines have been hot all night. And look at Cannon White. Baseline. Lucas Mangum, great defense. Here come the Wolverines. And the Scots in desperate need of a stop. Okay. Matthew Lastry shot that one from the tollway. He's got 10 points, excuse me.
That's not defense right there. That's just a guy who's just unconscious pulling from, close to 30 feet.
Very long range. That was NBA range. Will Saunders worked his way to the basket. Nothing doing. Chris Martinez fighting for that one. Big Will finishing that time. He's got 6 points.
Great job for Chris, keeping the play alive. He plays so well, low to the ground, gets those loose balls, and, that's a big 2 points for us. We got to stop some of the momentum here. Coming off back-to-back threes for them.
Lucas Mangum pulling the three. Jeez, man. Wow. 18 points to lead for Wakeland. 50-32.
Well, talked about us coming out and looking for the three-point shot, and they've hit three already on their side.
Will Saunders getting that one to go to turnaround. 9 points, 50-34. 5:30 to go and ticking here in the third quarter.
All right, let's see if we just can't force them to try and take something to the basket and just run them off the three. That's a good-looking defensive set there. That's a shot you want them to take.
And Conrad Noble to rebound. Chris Martinez Jr. behind the back. Straight down Main Street. The finger roll. Chris Martinez. 16 points for Chris Martinez Jr. 50-36. And Thornton straight down the lane. Muscles his way to the basket. He gets it to go.
That's okay. That's, you're playing good man-up defense there. He just takes it downhill. That's, it's a shot we'll live with. We got to have them taking more shots like that instead of open threes.
It seems like everything they shoot beyond the three-point arc is falling. And Cannon White getting it back from Big Will. Big Will trying to cut to the basket. Cannon White gets it back. Cedric Thornton the rebound. Wolverines on the move. Jordan Johnson with it. Feeds it to Thornton. Thornton, strong finish. 9 points for the big man. We got a timeout on the floor. And Frisco Wakeland, 54-36 to lead.
Wakeland's got a lot more energy than the Scots tonight. You know, that's a play there where we miss a shot, and then, boom, they're off and going. And they were 4-on-1. They had 4 or 5 guys that beat 4 of our guys down the court. We both played last night, so it's not an excuse as, hey, we had a back-to-back. They had a back-to-back. They had a tough game last night. They beat Newman Smith by 2 points, 4 points last night, so they had a battle.
55-52.
We did not have a battle. We had a nice senior night where we had guys, everybody got to play, everybody got some points. It was a very comfortable game. You know, sometimes that can be a factor too. You kind of come in a little sleepy coming off of a comfortable game. They had to fight last night to get their win, and maybe that's coming off some of that momentum from that.
And in Scots, Martinez brings it up the court. And Conrad Noble over to Cade Kaplan. Cannon wide, three-pointer. Nothing doing. Rebounded Matthew Lastry. And here comes Jordan Johnson with it. Cade Kaplan step for step with it. He's going to get it back out to Thornton. Thornton is going to keep it. And he walked, definitely.
All right, this is a big 3 minutes and 47 seconds. We got to close out this quarter. It's an 18-point game. You could get this down to a manageable number. Let's see if we can get it down to 10, get it down to 12, go into that fourth quarter and really try and put a push on trying to pull this game out. Otherwise, you know, they could bury us here if we don't try and stem the tide a little bit. Look at that. Great shot.
Chris Martinez channeling his inner Julius Irving. Reversing that one. He's got 18 points for the Scots and almost had a steal.
Get on the floor.
Lastry. Ball on the floor. Out on Wakeland. Possession Scots.
Okay. 2 stops. We got a bucket. Let's see if we can get another one here, and let's keep it rolling. Let's see where we are at the end of this quarter.
Cade Kaplan pulling the trigger. Cade Kaplan. His second 3 of the night. He's got 6. 2 for 2 from three-point land for Kaplan. 54-41. Wakeland leading. We are now at the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Jordan Johnson feeds it to Thornton. Nice defense, but they saved. Will Saunders got him on the wrist.
So, number 4's name again, remind me, Jordan Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, kid like that who had, 18 points in the first half, usually, we probably would have just sort of let him sort of play man up and one-on-one on that penetration. Because he's been so effective in this game, you saw Conrad kind of had to come off of Thornton there to help, and then all of a sudden he leaves Thornton, the guy that we're mostly trying to pay attention to, gets a straight drive to the hoop and draws a foul. There's where your third and fourth option, fifth option in your team scoring changes the defense that we play, and it really changes how we're able to defend them.
Cannon wide, Will Saunders. They take a break. Charlton Bradford, Spencer Amundsen. They sub in for the Scots. Cedric Thornton is 0 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Well, let's remember that as we get into the foul game into the fourth quarter, and see if we can't put him on the line, see if he can prove if he can knock some of those down.
54-41, that is the score. 2:50 to go and ticking here in the third quarter. Scots with possession. Tries to feed it to Amundsen, little bit too strong. Right idea.
It was there.
Just got to put it together the next time. Possession goes back to Wakeland. And Coach Eric Benton telling him to get up the court in a hurry. Little isolation. Johnson was cutting to the basket, but Martinez was waiting on it. Conrad Noble, great defense. As always, Spencer Amundsen on the move. Cade Kaplan, baseline. Blocked by Lastry. Thornton gets it out to Lucas Mangum. He goes behind the back. Mangum on the move. Mangum the finish. Beautiful transition basketball by Wakeland. And Spencer Amundsen back with it. Up the court in a hurry. Can't get it to go, but Cade Kaplan to follow and draws the foul. And he's going to shoot 2. And Cade Kaplan going to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Not many fouls called on either side. Neither team has gotten into the penalty in the first 3 quarters so far.
They're certainly letting them bang around in there, contesting shots without calling it. You know, they got a bucket down on their other end where Chris is getting his hands in there and making a lot of contact. They just let kind of play on and got the bucket.
And Kaplan getting that second free throw to go. He's got 8 points. 56-43.
Cut it to 13. It's a big defensive possession here for the Scots. Ooh, get on the floor.
Indeed. And that was almost an opportunity, but Cedric Thornton said, let me get to the basket.
Boy, he loves that, getting downhill from the top of the key and just going after it. It's tough to defend.
Martinez straight to the basket. Martinez to finish. Young man's got 20 points tonight. 58-45. Wakeland leads. As we approach this 1 minute mark here in the third quarter. And the Scots in desperate need of some more stops. Jordan Johnson can't get that one to go, but rebounded by Tavares. Armisen comes up with it. Martinez. And that's goaltending. Definitely.
Yep.
22 points for Chris Martinez. Ball hit the backboard.
I don't think the fans know the rule. Ball comes off the backboard, you can't touch it. Whether it was going in or not, it hit off the backboard.
Yes, indeed. Ball definitely hit the backboard first. And 22 points for Chris Martinez Jr. 58-47. 1:04 to go in the third. Wakeland still leading, but Highland Park not going quietly. And there's a three-pointer from Lastry. Nothing doing. Chris Martinez the rebound. Martinez on the move. Martinez. Charlton Bradford, corner three. Charlton Bradford can't get that one to go. Conrad Noble the rebound. Spencer Robinson back to Martinez. Martinez can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Cameron McCain.
Two good-looking shots there. Just didn't get him to drop.
Absolutely. Those are the open looks you want. Bradford and Martinez with some good shots. Just didn't fall for him.
They're holding for one.
And Bradford, one-on-one with Jordan Johnson. And Cannon wide.
That's not our matchup we want there.
Not
we
necessarily.
Get a switch off of that.
But Cannon wide, almost forcing a turnover. Lastry can't get that one to go. That's how the third quarter ends. And Wakeland leading 58-47, but Highland Park not going away, John.
What did I say? Let's try to get it to 10, to 12, a manageable number going into the fourth. I don't want to be down 11 going into the fourth, but it's a lot better than being down 18 where we were. So we cut into the lead, got a chance. Some of those threes to knock down the three, Charlton's three in that corner, boom, in and out. We give the offensive rebound, Chris, in and out. We're going to hit some of those, and we're going to make a run here and see if we can't steal one.
Chris Martinez Jr. leading the way. He's got 22 points. Will Saunders got 9. Cade Kaplan with 8. 3 from Spencer Amundsen. 2 from Cannon Wide for the Scots. Wakeland being led by Jordan Johnson. He's still at 19. But you got 11 from Cedric Thornton Jr., 10 from Matthew Lastry, 9 from Cameron McCain and Lucas Mangum. And we get ready to start this ever so important fourth quarter. Wakeland leading 58-47.
Let me take a moment to wish my mom happy birthday. We just had a happy birthday earlier in the broadcast. Marlene Smith turned 86 this week. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday to Marlene Smith. Thank you for tuning in to Game On Sports Network and supporting Game On Sports and Highland Park basketball. Wakeland, the possession to start the fourth quarter. And Wolverines trying to get themselves an open shot. Good defense. And Lucas Mangum taking flight and slamming it home. Spencer Robinson thought about pulling the trigger on that three. Charlton Bradford going to try to get it to Cannon Wyatt. Lucas Mangum ends up with it.
Well,
the Wolverines with an extra pep in their step.
They sure do. That's what I was about to say. This is a team, with 3 losses already in the district, with a loss to us already in the first half of district. Really couldn't afford a loss tonight. Would have put them kind of behind the 8 ball in that 5th position with only 4 teams making it. So they're definitely playing with a little bit more desperation.
Absolutely. And 60-47, the Wakeland lead now. Back up to 13. Martinez trying to get it in. He gets it into Amundsen, Martinez, Wyatt, Saunders, and Bradford. Your 5 on the floor for the Scots. McCain comes up with it. And Wolverines with busy hands, similar to what we see with the Scots on the defensive side of things. And Mangum throws it away. Possession, Highland Park. He was trying to get it to Matthew Lastry. And Lastry slipped. And the Scots looking to come back with it.
Yep, we're going to need turnovers. We're going to need some missed free throws because it's sooner or later we're going to have to start fouling, and we're going to have to start knocking down some of these threes. It's our only chance, staying down 13 with 6 minutes left.
6 minutes and 30 seconds in ticket. Wyatt cannot get that one to go. Thornton, another rebound. Jordan Johnson with it. Cannon Wyatt pressing him. And Johnson draws the foul. They're going to get Wyatt that time.
Almost thought he was trying to foul there. We talked about we have to get into the foul game and starting to add those up. But then they call the foul, and he turns and looks like that wasn't a foul. So I guess he was just trying to play hard on the ball defense.
Scott's called timeout that time. 6 minutes and 17 seconds. 8-minute quarters, and they do go fast.
They do.
You blink your eyes, and it's 3 minutes left.
Without a shot clock, I know I've mentioned that several times. That's the one rule change. I've got a couple rule changes I'd love to see UIL adopt, but the shot clock is, it's an antiquated game when you're being able to just drain clock at the end of the game. And these guys can handle a shot clock. There's so much talent in this state. I think it's a cost factor for all the schools to be able to implement and put a shot clock in, but hopefully that's coming soon. But again, that really makes these 8-minute quarters go fast.
Absolutely. As we sit here at 6:17, Peeler sends the Scots back out of the timeout. And if it wasn't crunch time before, it's officially crunch time now. And Scott's turning up the pressure defensively. Seeing them rotate. Mangum going to get it out to Johnson. Charlton Bradford staring down Mangum. And Saunders now on Johnson. And Lastry to 3. Yikes. Matthew Lastry, 13 points. You talked about him shooting the ball, John.
Yeah, he's a heck of a shooter. We had to change up, create a little pressure, try and get some pace into their offensive side. And you're gonna risk giving up some shots, and if they're gonna knock them down, it's gonna be tough.
5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this one. And Chris Martinez, the mid-range, can't get it to go. And they're going to get Will Saunders for a foul.
Well, now we're going to pick up some full court pressure. We've got to try to create some turnovers here.
5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Wakeland lead back up to 16. Lastry going to pull that one. Nothing doing. Cedric Thornton the rebound. Going to go back up with it. Well, finishing strong. Cannonball on the run. That is goaltending as well.
And taunting. Could give him a technical there for standing over the guy. I was going to say on that last possession, Lastry pulls that 3. They're trying to run clock. That was a ill-advised shot. You get him to take that shot, you get the miss, they get the rebound. that's when you know it's not your night. They get the rebound, put it back in, and build on their lead.
Cedric Thornton now with 13 points. We are officially below 5 minutes in this one. McCain going to get it to Lucas Mangum, corner three. Nothing doing. Cameron McCain was there to follow. Will Saunders rebounding after the miss. Cannon Wyatt on the move straight down Main Street. Cannon Wyatt getting that one to go. He's got 6 points. Timeout Wakeland. As Highland Park cuts it to 14. And Coach Eric Benton of Wakeland trying to reel his guys in.
Yeah, it's getting a little emotional out there. They had the block shot that called for the goaltending there and kind of standing over them. They're feeling the energy from the crowd. They haven't we swept them last year. We beat them pretty easily in the first game this year. So it's been 3 in a row, and even going back to the season before, this is a huge game for them. If they could get a win, you can see the emotion that's coming out from the Wakeland team.
And as you stated earlier, Wakeland 5-3 in district, tied for 4th place with Frisco Lone Star. You got the Colony at 6-2 with Frisco Reedy 6-2. Highland Park 7-1. They came into this one tonight in district.
Does Reedy have Lone Star tonight?
I believe they do.
Okay, so Reedy had a tough back-to-back with Colony last night and Lone Star tonight. They got beat last night. We'll see after the games tonight where we stand, win or lose, whether we're still in first place or in a tie with Reedy.
And Reedy defeated Lone Star the first time those two played. And there's Lucas Mangum. He had an opportunity to cut to the basket. He held up. And Cannon Wyatt sticking with Jordan Johnson. And Cedric Thornton.
Well, there's the downhill diving from the top of the key, free throw line, and going in with authority.
Cedric Thornton had mayhem on his mind. I could see it as soon as he caught it at the top of the key.
Like his dad trying to get after a quarterback there, the way he attacked the rim.
Dad Cedric at that defensive tackle spot, very quick off the ball. But Cannon Wyatt cutting to the basket. He's got 8 points now. The 67-53. As we are below 4 minutes now to go in this one. 14-point lead by Wakeland. And Lastry going to pull that one. Lastry on fire. 16 points now, 70-53. Wakeland leads.
Kid's a shooter. Reminds me of Mac Brink in his Richardson Eagle uniform back in the 90s, or late 80s.
Conrad Noble can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Thornton. Thornton comes out with it. Head full of steam. Cedric Thornton to the basket. Conrad Noble forcing a bad shot. But Cameron McCain working hard on the boards. He's got 11. Timeout, Highland Park. Wakeland lead back up to 19. With 3:18 to go in this one.
Well, sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not your night. It's hard to say coming off of a game like we had last night. You don't know. You never know how you're going to be able to come back and react. You do like to say, well, it'd be nice to have an easier game and you can kind of rest some guys and you come back ready to go for second game of a back-to-back. But maybe sometimes it does kind of lull you into a little less energy. Anytime you play on the road in this district, it's tough. We've said there's 5 teams playing for 4 playoff spots, and anytime you run into any of those other 4 teams, you got to battle. And if you're going to their place to play, it's going to be a tough game.
Absolutely. 72-53, 3:18. That's where we sit in regulation. Can the Scots make a run? We find out now. Martinez getting to the basket. And they're saying another goaltend.
It's another goaltend. This fan in front of us does not understand the rule. He is sure that none of those were goaltends, and all 3 of them were.
The ball hit the backboard. If it touches the backboard and then you block it, automatic goes in. That's the rule on every level.
Uh-oh.
Matthew Lastry, hot. Can't get that. Cedric Thornton, hot on the boards. 17 points. Cedric Thornton with another double-double. Cade Kaplan, the 3. Nothing doing. Cedric Thornton, another rebound. He pulls that one down. Going to get it to Lucas Mangum. Jordan Johnson, the finger roll. 21 points for the junior guard. Wakeland leading by 21. Big wheel to corner 3. Nothing doing. Lucas Mangum, the rebound. And Johnson getting it up to Matthew Lastry. He's going to pull the 3. Rebounded Charlton Bradford, throws it out on McCain. Highland Park ball. 2:16 to go in this one.
You don't see this a lot from this Scots team, the last few years, last several years. We'll get beat. We don't often get blown out of the gym, and we're going to go down fighting. But this was definitely a one-sided game. We just never. You got it down to 11. You thought you were in it, and they were knocking down shots and getting offensive rebounds, and it was just a tough game all night.
As we get a timeout on the floor at the 2:08 mark. Wakeland leading 76-57 after the Chris Martinez Jr. basket. Martinez leading the way for the Scots with 26 points. He's had a good night.
It's one of those things you talk about. I don't know where this team would be without Chris, a freshman that came into the program this year. Losing Anderson the first game of the season.
Yes, sir.
Chris immediately stepped into that starting role in game 2 and has just been an amazing spark and, playing well above his size, playing well above his age. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch over the next 3 years.
Very mature beyond his years. The Scots in good hands going forward. Ball in, possession Wakeland. As they get it up the court, Matthew Lastry going to get it over to Lucas Mangum. Lastry at the basket. Matthew Lastry, 18 points. 78-57. Wakeland, 150 to go and ticking. Martinez the shot. Martinez gets that one to go. He's got 29 points.
Wow.
78-60. Wakeland leads.
Well, we're scrambling, trying to get steals, doubling. You're going to give up some easy shots down there. But that's the only chance we've got right now is to try to get that pressure on them. Beat the traffic. Beat the traffic being cheered by the Wakeland fans. I always like start the bus. That's another good one.
That is a good one. Start the bus. Beat the traffic. One of those nights.
Yep. Looks like we're going to give a chance, Graham and Zach coming in and get some minutes here, give them some experience, get them some run. 2 juniors on our program. Close out this game, last 146.
Yes, sir. Graham Goodwin, Zach Jackson, Spencer Amundsen, Drew Fisher, and Charlton Bradford. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Scots. Cameron McCain, Cedric Thornton Jr., Matthew Lastry, Jordan Johnson, Lucas Mangum, the 5 Wolverines on the court for Wakeland. Long ball to Lucas Mangum. He catches it. Picks up his dribble. He's going to get it out to Thornton. And Wakeland going to work some clock. As we are now at the 1 minute and 30-second mark. And Thornton is going to get that one out to McCain. He's going to go back to Johnson. And Bradford eyeing him down.
Well, our girls program had a big game against Wakeland tonight, too. Wakeland's one of the top-ranked teams in the state.
Yes, sir.
Our girls program was able to beat them at home like we did. We got a sweep from Wakeland back in first week of January, and looks like they're turning around and get the sweep on us tonight.
The top teams in District 12 5A successful at defending home court so far.
Yep.
The only one that has taken a loss at home, I believe, is the Colony, Highland Park with a 2-point win over the Colony, as we saw that one.
Well, we got Reedy on their floor.
That is true.
And we're got a big game with them coming up here on February the 10th.
And Highland Park with a 10-point win over Reedy about 2 weeks ago. We were in the building for that one. Drew Fisher running with Cedric Thornton.
Coaches have a lot of respect for each other. They're close friends. Doing a good job, not trying to embarrass the other team with an 18-point lead here, but he's going to get his subs a chance to get on the floor.
Got some more substitutes coming in. Wolverines. Looks like Clayton Carter, a junior. Henry Shirk, a senior. Jack Landry, a junior, is going to check in. As is Fletcher Bond, a senior. And Sebastian Villanueva, another senior for Wakeland, as they check in.
So we've got 30 seconds left in this game. I'll also like to say hello to Mike and Sharon Bucrois out in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Mentioned before them watching. And we've got viewers all over the country. It's fun to have people watching from different time zones and different areas of the country, being all big Scots fans.
Absolutely a pleasure. And make sure you send me or John the shout-out request. And we will make sure we get those out over the broadcast. And 6 seconds to go in this one. As these last few seconds tip off. And Charlton Bradford gets a 3 to go. And that is going to do it. Final from Wakeland. Wakeland, 78. Highland Park, 63. And Wakeland going to 18-10 overall, 6-3 in district. Highland Park falling to 17-10 overall, 7-2 in district. As we go down your leading scorers. First for Wakeland, Jordan Johnson, 21. 18 from Matthew Lastry. 17 from Cedric Thornton Jr. Lucas Mangum chipped in 11, as did Cameron McCain. For your Highland Park Scots, Chris Martinez Jr. led the way with 29 points. Behind him, Will Saunders with 9. 8 from Cannon White. 8 from Cade Kaplan. Spencer Robinson got 3. Charlton Bradford got 3 himself. And the Scots back on the court again February 3rd. We talked about this, John. They all must win from here on out. The Colony comes to town.
I'll say this. If there's any silver lining to this, we had 4 big games remaining left in our schedule. The other 4 teams that were battling for 1 through 4 in the playoffs. There's 5 of us kind of playing for 4 spots. We had 4 of them left. This was our only one on the road of those 4. We get the Colony at home. We get Reedy at home, and then we finish off the season with Lone Star at home. So if you're going to drop one of the 4, the hardest one of the 4 maybe the win the one on the road. So got this one behind us. We got 3 big tests ahead of us in the next 3 Tuesdays, and they're all going to happen at Highlander Fieldhouse.
Once again, February 3rd, this Tuesday, Highland Park will host the Colony right here on Game On Sports Network. And I will be there with the call for that one. On behalf of Game On Sports, I say thank you. John, thank you for joining me on the call. As always, you were a breath of fresh air. It was a pleasure.
Well, I'm looking forward to our next 2 Fridays together, and I'll be watching you from the other side of the court on the Tuesdays. And you up on the visitor side, and I'm going to be over on the home side. But I enjoy our Fridays together, and we've got two more left.
And I say thank you to the Highland Park community for allowing me to come out and help serve the community. It's an absolute pleasure to do so, and I have the time of my life doing it. All the parents that play a part in this. Ty Owens, our cameraman and engineer, my man. Great job tonight, and everyone involved. We say good night from Frisco. We say God bless, and we say game on.